Hey, Amy White with Worthy Written Words. Today we're going to be in our D&C section 110 verse 15 and we're going to be doing our Turning Our Hearts page kit. Starting off, I'm going to take this big sticker and place it in my footnotes. Now usually these stickers you can pop them right off if you line them up wrong, but when I did it this time and I tried to pull it back up, it was on there really tight, and I'm guessing it's because it's such a big sticker. So even if you get it a little bit off like I did, it's not that big a deal. I just trimmed a little bit that was hanging off the side, and it's all going to be covered anyway, so it's not going to be super noticeable if it's a little bit crooked. Now I'm going to be putting these family ancestor portraits down here along the bottom, and I'm going to do it so that every other one is a wooden frame, and the wooden frames I'm going to put a 3D foam square underneath to help them pop up off of the page. And I have those ones that are going to be a little more straight, and then the two in between them are going to be more crooked to kind of give it just a little bit more chaos, but you can have them all straight if you'd rather do that. Next, I'm going to put this quote by Joseph Smith immediately above the leaf sticker in my margins, and I'm going to make sure I leave enough space for these file folders to go above it. Now with these file folders, I'm going to take the two that are cut in half, and I'm going to place them underneath this folded one, which I just folded up. Yours shouldn't come folded, so you'll have to fold it. So I'm going to put these underneath in opposite directions, and then I'm going to put the folding one on the top of them, and this is going to create the illusion of a stack of folders or paperwork that you have going on. And then just using some craft tape, you could use a glue stick, whatever you have in your supplies, I'm going to put these down. Again, opposite ski-wampy, kind of matching the ancestor silhouettes. Now for this folder that's going to be placed on top, I am going to start by putting this profile sticker on the inside. This is to simulate a folder that you have on a particular ancestor that you're trying to learn more about or find more information on. And so that's going to go on the inside. And then I am going to take this flap piece of paper that's like a cutout of a family tree chart, and I'm going to paper clip that onto the other side of this folder. And I didn't do a sticker because I really wanted the illusion of loose papers inside of this folder. So by attaching it with a paper clip, it's secure, but then it also gives that effect of they're having more dimension than just an open folder with stickers on it. Now I'm going to put this title of the page on top of the folder, and because that paper clip's in the way, I'm going to start at the very bottom of the folder and work my way up just to make sure that I'm able to space it all where I want it to be so that the paper clip isn't hiding the title. And now I'm going to take my craft tape and tape the bottom part of that folder onto this stack of folders so that you'll be able to open it and close it, but it's going to be attached to the margin of your page. Now I'm going to take this tab label and put it on my tab, but I'm not going to attach it to my page yet. I'm going to put it off to the side and wait until I'm done with the page topper. Now I'm going to thread this needle with the blue thread that comes in your kit, and at the end of it I'm going to make a knot, and I do that by rolling it around my finger and then rubbing the thread back and forth and pulling. And this is something I learned in 2nd grade, and it stuck with me ever since, to make a knot on the back. And I've never done a stitch design like this before, so I am just winging it and learning as I go. And what I'm doing is I'm going from dot to dot, not in the same way, and I don't want that sticking out, so I'm going to get some tape and I'm going to tape this loose thread down so that it won't get in the way and get me all tangled up. So now I'm going from hole to hole, and I'm going in opposite directions so that the line that shows up isn't going to be going in the same direction constantly. I want it to be very all over the place, and I don't want there to be any sort of pattern to it. And when I'm done doing all of this, then I'm going to stitch around the outside of the heart. You could leave that part empty. It's all about what look you prefer, but I kind of wanted to close it all in. So when you run out of thread, because it's cut or whatever, if you don't have one long piece, or I actually did this in 2 feet stretches at a time because I didn't want to have so much string that it was getting all tangled up everywhere. So when you run out of string, you don't even have to tie a knot. I'm just going to use another small piece of tape and just tape whatever's left onto the back side. But then when I do start a new piece of thread, just to make it easier on myself, I'm going to tie another knot in the back and then start all over again. If you do put your thread in and you don't like the way it looks, because let's say it's just too similar to the last one that you did, it just doesn't look good, it's just easy. You just pull it out and redo it. You don't have to leave it. The holes are big enough and the thread is big enough that you can just pull it right out and try a different location. When the heart's looking the way that I want it to, I'm going to use a pair of scissors and I'm going to cut out around this heart, but I want to leave plenty of space so that it's not going to cut into the hole. So give yourself some breathing room there. And then I'm going to use a hot glue gun and I'm going to glue this whole heart onto a piece of felt. Now, something that I forgot to do at this point is to glue the 2 leaves in between the heart and this piece of felt. And I realize after I do this part that I forgot, and so I just glue the leaves onto the back of this big piece of felt, which is what you'll see me do here. But I recommend before you glue this onto the piece of felt that you glue the 2 leaves behind the heart and then glue on this big white piece of felt. And again, we're going to just trim that felt around the heart so that it is the same on both sides. And then we're going to hot glue this little piece of felt with the paper clip on it, and we're going to put that paper clip on the upper part of the heart so that we will be able to slide it down onto our page. Now we're going to put this on and we're going to attach it in place using some washi tape, and that's going to be some sort of leaf washi tape that's in your kit. And then we're going to attach the tab right next to it using some craft tape. And then on the beginning part of the tab, I'm going to put my 2 heart stickers. They'll be blue, green, or yellow, whatever combination that you get, but there'll be a bigger one and a smaller one. And then I'm going to use a blue Myliner highlighter to highlight verse 15. Any sort of highlighter, pen, marker will work. Just make sure it doesn't bleed through to the other side. And that is it. I hope that you guys like this page kit. Be sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all of our latest releases, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.